Background. I had this friend, 29F. Let's call her N from university. She was my best friend, sister more like it, and we were super close. She started dating her now husband B 4 years ago and also brought his friend R along. I was close to B, but not so much to R. We sometimes joked, because N had experimented with me, that we could do a foursome/threesomes, but we obviously didn't go through with it, because it was truthfully just jokes. I met my husband M on a dating site 2 years ago, and we had a great first date, and I knew I really liked him. The problem is that I was in a bad place, had been dumped, was quite self-destructive, bad self-esteem and image, needed and used guys for validation, and a lot of ambiguous guy relationships in the picture. M and I kept texting after the date. One day after the date with M, I went out with N, B, and R, and I got the news that I had been fired from my job. I was on a working visa in Europe. I went into a downward spiral of anxiety and frustration. I made out with R to just feel better about myself. Horrible decision, I know. Afterwards, M and I started dating. But long story short, all my past came out, including about R, and M found out about all the various guys in my life, thought I was emotionally cheating by having them around. With a lot of fights, I removed all of them from socials, blocked them, and worked on my relationship. The only problem was R. Because of my friendship with N, I couldn't get her out. However, M compromised and said that he wanted to meet N, B, and R, and be assured there was no problem. However, N never liked M. I realized that now. N always made excuses why B and her couldn't meet us. Work, family, wedding planning, you name it. I always tried to make them meet. They only met twice. B and M haven't met. B didn't even come to our wedding. N always had snide comments about our relationship and how I was changing, which I brushed aside thinking she was saying it out of love. M also didn't like N, naturally. I also never spoke to our one-to-one again. He was removed from all my social media. I also, if I came for an event with N, see the event, and after that she invited me to go drinking and I would be there, I used to say no and go home. Coincidentally, however, N and B would always have to meet together when M wasn't around, either out of the country, and R would always be there. I used to tell him everything. But naturally, he thought it was strange that they could meet only when he wasn't available. But I always defended my best friend. So the tension was there. The problem. It was N's wedding in July. I was the maid of honor. M was invited. R was the best man of B. When N asked me to be MOH, I asked her whether it would play a big role, especially together. She said no. Then, we had the church rehearsal for days before the wedding, and I realized I had to walk together with R. I told N this isn't a good idea, and she gaslit me by saying, it's my wedding, all the hymn sheets are printed out, we can't change the names. But the thing which stood out was that she said, M, and you are in a really good place now. He's really cool. Hell, understand. I don't know why, but I knew it wasn't right, but with my fear of causing conflicts, my bad communication style, a reason for failed relationships, and my ego, I didn't tell him, hoping it wouldn't be as bad. I really regret it, and I don't know what made me do that. But I really wish I hadn't withheld the truth. On the day of the wedding, I walked down with R.M. Naturally was angry, upset, felt that I cheated on him, and I don't blame him. Even I would have felt the same way, if it was me in the position. After the wedding, we had a series of fights, horrible fights, the worst we've had, including a lot of horrible verbal insults. He also wanted to end the marriage, again, I don't blame him, and said if N is in our lives, he's out. So, I cut N off completely now. Blocked, removed, because I want to work my relationship and be with M. Current issue. After our fights, we've tried to move on. But it's not possible. We are so distant with each other, and it's never been the same since before N's wedding. Now, M doesn't trust me, and every little thing I do wrong triggers him, like my other friend got invited to a celebrity's party, and I laughed saying it might be cool to attend, and M got triggered thinking I wanted to hang out with celebrities, then be with him. I know I'm responsible for this, and I know I'm 100% at fault. The thing is, I love M so much. He's made me a better person. He's loving, understanding, caring, has moved mountains for me, funny, sexy, and my best friend. and I took him for granted. And for everything he's done for me, I haven't even done 1% of it. I'm slowly doing now, helping him with his work, looking after the house and our pets properly, talking to him, communicating, being a better wife/girlfriend that I wasn't before. But I don't know if the damage is already done. I know M doesn't love me the way he did before. I feel it, and I see it. I also am having a hard time forgetting all the terrible things he told me when we were fighting. He can't get the image of the wedding and how he was treated by my friends from his head. I know I'm at fault. 100%. I also know this reads, and a lot of people will tell us to break up because there's too much resentment and history and problems and too much has happened and to start fresh. I also sometimes think that. But on the other hand, I've never fought for relationships, so I let it go and not have closure later on, so I know I can't leave this relationship without even trying my best and giving it 100%. I want to make it work. I want to be with him. He's the only person in life who I've met who I felt comfortable, safe, secure, and I really, really love him. I want to be a better wife for him. I want to earn his trust back, show him I'm not a cheater, show him I won't hurt him, show him that I love him. I just don't know how to do it.